Bati-Bati Book Club.
Ladies and gentlemen, those who lie betwixt or outside, to yet another episode of the Bati-Bati Book Club. I'm your host, as always, the Rod Tang of making the frauds hang, Squill, joined as always by Walk. How's it going?
The devil in the pardon for the devil. I'm good.
I like the sound effects there.
Thank you.
The thing being opened picked up really well on my mic, at least.
I'm doing good. I joined the Good Brothers, as you can hear.
The question is which one, because there's a big quality difference.
I like to think that I'm somewhere better than the guy who caused Inoki to say bullshit.
I actually do respect Luke Gallows as a worker, solely because he identified that Carl Anderson was on a really hot run and somehow attached him to him for life.
He hitched his ride on that horse, and it has been guiding him well ever since.
And it was a very middling horse, to be clear. But he got on it exactly the right time.
Luke Gallows is he's a solid hand, and that's about all I can say. And Luke, luckily, both of these gentlemen are just nice dudes.
Yeah,
which is what's had them keep their jobs.
I base them if you're a mid worker but you're consistently funny on BTE, then I like you a lot.
Yeah, and they're funny on BTE, so shit works. Speaking of BTE, who are we talking about today?
We are talking none other than Matt Hardy.
Oh, wow, the lesser Hardy brother.
So that's what I wanted to discuss today, because I think, well, if you're talking about the Hardys in the year of our Lord 2025, it's because they're washed and they're in TNA.
What do you mean they're the TNA tag champions?
Yeah.
They're washed? Washed.
Their joints aren't working.
They're on NXT TV, brother.
Their bones are destroyed.
That's where the real workers are at.
But, so there was a Matt Hardy renaissance in the mid to late 2010s because of what he did in Impact, which is very rare that someone actually builds their career in Impact. Instead of just being on a consistent downslide or like hell dimension hiatus thing. Hashtag free Jake something.
Oh, you're telling me. Get well soon, buddy.
It's come to my attention that beyond like his tag work, which we will not be covering on the episode,
it's cheating.
He's thought is consistently the lesser Hardy, and there are arguments to be done so, mostly because of opportunity. Because people, whatever reason, because I get it, I'm the same way. It's that meme of Marge Simpson with the potato, but I just think Jeff Hardy's neat, and we've all sort of agreed as a wrestling fandom that he's neat.
He's very neat.
I don't fully understand it, but I do agree with it.
Yeah.
But especially in the like mid 2000s, Matt Hardy did actually a lot of great singles work, in my opinion. And so we're gonna pick out some matches from around his career, and talk about what we enjoy from Matt Hardy.
Yeah. I am
curious, by the way. What did you know? Because you had not been introduced to Broken Matt, I think, until I did it for you.
True.
What was your read on Matt Hardy prior to learning that he's crazy?
I knew not a lot. I knew Matt Hardy was a dude and he got cheated on by Lita. He doesn't like his AEW run, which is kind of fair.
What's funny is I liked his AEW run when Jeff wasn't there.
Yeah,
because he was doing the broken thing when he came in, and then he did Big Money Matt, which was actually pretty funny when he was like a like scamming the
Yeah, he was
private
scamming
party
the private
company.
party. Yeah,
Yeah, it was a good
that's a
bit.
good bit. Yeah. I also knew I actually knew vaguely about the broken gimmick. I didn't know how far the rabbit hole went, so I was just kind of hanging out.
He basically hijacked Impact Wrestling to do an ARG, and that I deeply respect.
It's so funny. We'll get to some of his promos, and we'll get to his magnum opus later on in the show.
Mhm.
Not to play the hand too hard, but we will start off with um, Matt Hardy versus Chris Benoit on SmackDown. Now,
Yeah, so this is I would argue a early preview that he's actually like really smart.
mhm.
Because we are in the version 1 era.
Yeah, with the Matt facts.
And
I
so he's intentionally trying to do the opposite of what when a tag breakup happens.
mhm,
Where the guys just do their own thing or they do the same thing over and over again.
mhm.
So he's gone and created this schizophrenic, like,
This was like proto broken, right?
yeah, what's interesting to me about both Broken Matt and 1.0 is that he's like deeply entrenched in what people think of him, but like
Mhm.
online like smart marks.
He's
Um,
Matt Hardy got to be one of my favorite marks.
because like Broken will obviously like break the fourth wall, but the idea is that he's oblivious to some extent. But Matt
Mhm.
Hardy version 1 is like very tuned in to what the internet thinks of him.
He would be wearing a Bullet Club shirt if that gimmick was around in 2000 in the 2000s.
Yeah. And what is the Matt fact of the day as he enters against Chris Benoit?
There's two actually.
Yeah.
First Matt fact is that Matt's beard is way cooler than Benoit's, and I agree.
Yep. No arguments.
And Matt Tan's wearing only a sock. A sock.
Yep. And you can decide where that sock is.
You know, these are the questions that Matt Hardy poses to the viewer. And immediately, Matt Hardy gets jumped by Benoit.
He would
Um,
not be the last person to be attacked by Chris Benoit outside of the
oh,
ring.
ladies and gentlemen, please do not kill your family.
I will note, by the way, that this is part of a tournament for the WWE United States title. It
Uh-huh.
doesn't really matter since
Hmm.
this just opens a SmackDown,
Yeah.
which is a by the way the SmackDown card is insane because this
Oh,
is by far the best thing on it.
I don't. What is the card?
So this opens the card. Ultimo Dragon is there for whatever
Oh,
reason.
that's pretty cool.
He works a 2-minute match.
Oh fuck.
There's Billy Kidman and Rey Mysterio versus Los Conquistadors.
Oh hell no! Those conquistadors with the what are they? The natural the filthy animals.
Then there's Rhino versus Sean O'Hare.
Oh my god.
Which doesn't even which is amazing is this is cage match. They don't even have the match time for that on there. We
That's
don't
so
know how long
funny.
it runs.
I'm
There's
just
Eddie
assuming
Guerrero.
it was Rhino goring him and then a 3 count.
That's what I'm assuming. And then Eddie Guerrero versus Billy Gunn, whatever. But
Yeah.
then uh the main event is a
Hmm.
3-on-1 handicap match
Oh.
versus Kurt Angle versus the Big Show and the world's greatest tag team.
Of course. I mean,
And
that's
Kurt
what I
Angle
would
goes
book.
over.
Yes, I mean that. It's this is just how Kurt Angle trains normally.
Yeah.
This is how he won a gold medal. Is that he just had all of his team rush him down all at once.
And that does wound me because Kurt Angle versus Shelton Benjamin in just about any era is a good match you could book.
Yes, I think they could pull off a good match now.
Yeah.
Absolute beast. Matt, I just want to note Matt Hardy has an insane build. They do not make dudes like him anymore.
No, he's real weird looking.
He looks like Gumby if he worked out.
Yeah, like Jeff is very much just like fully Gumby bodied out.
Mm-hmm.
But Matt clearly at some point was like, "Fuck, I need to bulk up a little bit."
And by
So he's
bulking up and working out, he only worked out his traps.
yeah. So he's optimized himself to work for 400 years and not die.
Yeah, the perfect worker, one might say.
Mm-hmm.
Aside from Matt Hardy's absurd build, Benoit has some nuts chops, causing them to go corner to corner. Nice thing about Matt Hardy is that whenever he's getting beat up, he just kind of moves around, keeping the action flowing.
Yeah, we'll see this in more of the matches tonight. But he just has a great job of sometimes like walking and brawling or just like hitting back and forth can feel kind of static. Like you're just kind of stalling.
It kind of feel. I mean, I hate to keep pointing at the goat, Black Terry, but Black Terry. Every time there was a walk and brawl segment, it was kind of just getting to the next spot, which is not how you want your walking and brawling to be. But aside from that,
Matt seems to be. Well, I was gonna say Matt is cognizant of that, and so when he's walking and brawling, he's like flailing across the ring.
Yes, he is an incredible stooge during this match. Shannon Moore is also here. Shannon Moore, you might know as the guy that CM Punk called a poser, and being a part of Ink Inc.
Ooh.
For all my big Shannon Moore heads out there, question authority.
One of them.
Only one though. Matt Hardy bumps and stooges around for Benoit, and then I think it's a forearm that is what gets Matt. But this mean forearm from Benoit, I don't think he knows how to throw a nice one. It's right to Matt's nose. Just causes him to be busted open and bleeding all over the place. Matt rubs his entire
breaks his nose.
Yes. And Matt rubs his face on the bottom rope. Just this dude knows how to work. This guy gets it.
It's always like and we've seen this happen by particularly bad workers. But when you're handed something like that, you have to run with it. You cannot fight against it.
No.
So when a botch happens, but in a way that could only make it better, you have to lean into it.
Absolutely agree. I mean, you don't even need the blade. It's free blood. Everybody's going to be like, oh my god. And it's like free fighting spirit because Matt Hardy like G's up. He starts doing the side effect spam.
And he's technically supposed to be the heel, but he just has to fighting spirit up because his nose has just gotten broken.
And it's also Chris Benoit. Chris Benoit just gets this energy out of people where they are fighting for their life. Because they kind of are.
Yeah.
Matt is really good at matching people's energy during matches. Yeah. He never is lacking. He's always keeping up. He does a great job. Matt is just a very solid hand when it comes to singles matches.
I think he's just an underratedly smart worker. Not just outside of the ring with like his savvy of the internet and getting over with that. But I think he's actually in funny contrast to his brother who in canon has to jump off of things like a lemming. He clearly is like, okay, how can I, because he is a very much like, he has sort of a bland style, but he makes it work for him because he'll just be like, yeah, okay, I'll just do your kind of match.
Yeah, he has like three, like the most distinct part about the Matt Hardy style is he'll do something a little dumb. He'll do the side effect. He'll do the twist of fate. And that one headlock spot. And that is all he does.
Yeah.
That is like notable, but he's really good at basically everything about pro wrestling.
Again, he's like a humble worker.
He'll
go exactly to what you want him to do.
He's not a best bout machine, but damn, he does a great job. But Chris Benoit locks in a double wrist lock to the back, not double wrist lock, excuse me, a waist lock, and starts spamming German suplexes. Chris Benoit has some crazy German suplexes where they look like rock bottoms.
Yeah.
And just dumps dudes on their neck. I don't even know how you teach that German suplex.
Well, Benoit follows the principle of I wouldn't ask you to take any bump I wouldn't take, but unfortunately, he's Chris Benoit.
Mm-hmm. And then Chris Benoit, being the nice worker that he is, when they start brawling to the outside, Matt Hardy does Matt Hardy taunt. I don't know what else to call it. Team Extreme taunt, where they do the fingers. But Chris Benoit grabs his legs and tosses him, and he snake eyes him on the apron. The guy with the broken nose.
Yeah.
And then Germans him, brings him back in, Germans him, and then locks in the crossface and locks up the match. Great stuff.
Yeah, this thing only goes 8 minutes.
Yeah.
But there's so much 7 minutes.
This is some good content though. This is for 7 minutes. I mean,
I can only imagine how let down the crowd would feel to start your SmackDown with this.
Oh, dude.
Else.
Oh, dude. As an experienced SmackDowner, shit's rough. You're kind of in the trenches when you go to see a SmackDown show.
Also, shout out to Taz on commentary.
Taz is actually doing a very good job. He's like actually doing wrestling commentary versus Michael Cole, who's explaining the story. I hate that shit. I hate that shit. It's not an original comment, but it's true. It's some shitty ass commentary.
Whenever he gets to call like a Benoit or Kurt Angle match, you can hear Taz light up during this era.
Mm-hmm. Taz is collecting a paycheck half the time, but he definitely does go, "Oh shit, that's me, that's my shit. I know this guy." Do you have any other notes?
I was gonna say, the later matches will highlight like particularly his strengths as just him. Mm-hmm. I think what I found most notable about this match is that he was just like, okay, Chris Benoit match, we're going. Because not everyone, now they'd be forced to if they were actually in the ring with him, but not everyone can work a Chris Benoit match.
No. No, it takes a particular set of skills to work a Benoit match.
But now we have like the funny pantyhose guy, and he's like, yeah, all right, well, I'll just break my nose and go with it.
Jesus Christ, what a guy!
But I think it just shows a lot of determination from him
as
a worker.
He's good. He does a very good job. He keeps up with Benoit, and that's all you could really ask for.
So what happens to Chris Benoit not Chris Benoit? We already What happens to Matt Hardy in the next 2 years before we get to our next match?
Aren't we going to do the promos?
We're going to do that in between the next couple.
Oh, okay, my fault. Yeah. What happens to Matt Hardy is that his ass gets fired. Because of course Lita cheated on him. So he gets fired. This is only the WWE can you get such great decisions like that.
Yeah, and it was literally so he was fired for quote unprofessional conduct, which is while he was injured.
Yeah.
And then it turned out that the Lita Edge stuff came up, and so he wasn't really like
happy about
he wasn't doing it. He wasn't doing a whole lot. Like he was a little active and a little bit on whatever little social media there was at the time, but it was mostly just that crowds were just chanting like "fuck you" at Lita and Edge, and they're like, "Yeah, we're getting rid of him."
There's nothing more unprofessional than getting injured. Yeah. What a mark.
And so he released, what's really interesting is he released, while he was released, he released like a bunch of like weird promos. One in which he eats grapes aggressively. And everyone at this point, and this will be like the seeds for Broken Matt, but everyone is like, oh, he and this is also when Matt was like deeply addicted to painkillers. And so we have a crazy guy who just lost his job.
Matt Hardy.
Perked out, and he's aggressively eating grapes and calling himself the charismatic Diablo. And people are like, oh, he might actually kill himself. And so it's kind of interesting that he learns from this, not just
Mhm.
as a man in that he gets, permanently clean off of drugs,
Yeah.
but he's also like, wait, if I start acting like really stupid, people are gonna be concerned and intrigued.
And that's important in this business, People have to be interested, and golly, where he goes with it.
But during his time away, he does actually have a few matches for Ring of Honor.
Yes, beloved Ring of Honor in 2005. Is this
Yeah,
2005 ROH? Wow.
yes.
Okay,
So this is some good ass ROH.
this is some good ass
Um,
ROH with the boy.
and it's really interesting because you would expect him, I guess, just because he works such a non ROH style for the most
Mhm.
part. But this is once again where we're going to see the versatility of Matt Hardy, and he only actually has three matches during this run. This is the final one. He comes up and he faces Christopher Daniels. It's good. Then
Mhm.
he faces Homicide, pretty solid. And now
That's
here he is
shocking.
against Roderick Strong.
And it's Roderick Strong, man. This is the GOAT. This dude does the backbreaker. He's awesome. And to start off this match,
Hmm.
um, they start off with an amazing side headlock takeover, if you will. And it looks sweet. It's very rough looking. Matt Hardy is wearing Jinko jeans. Uh, just a crazy look on this guy. Like he's growing out his beard a little bit, so he looks a little more unhinged.
Yeah, we're getting right to the end. We're getting right to the end of the painkillers and drinking problems, Matt Hardy. But he looks it.
He, golly, a belly to back counter to the headlock, but Matt holds on. Great spot, by the way.
Mhm.
Um, then for some reason there's a pussy whip chant. I don't know what's going
Cool.
on there. Then there's a crazy arm drag to a hold, and then commentary talks about how Roddy's chops will affect Matt Hardy. After watching that Chris Benoit match, I am not worried.
Yeah, no, also he's just looks larger than Roddy in a big way.
Matt Hardy is a huge human being in comparison to Roderick Strong.
I
Like,
think it's just you forget what a guy who looks like average to small in the Fed at this time period versus a guy who's average for the Indies.
it's a very different sized human.
Yeah.
Um, then there's a great counter where Matt Hardy does a body slam out of an arm lock, which is pretty cool.
Hmm.
Like that counter. Great. Matt Hardy's a really good puncher.
Oh yeah.
He he just fucking he has great physicality about it.
I think he realized that if you just punch them in the body, you can do it as a shoot. And if
Mm-hmm.
you just torque your arm a bunch and just kind of tap them, you can hit them in the face.
Mm-hmm. He the smart worker. This guy's a genius. Then a massive chop by Roddy, and it hits the post on the outside.
It's
That shit
such
looks fucked up.
Yeah, it's such a good like little counter by Matt because you'll see he'll adapt a little bit more here, but there's a clash between like the ROH indie style going on and like
Mm-hmm.
the WWE style. And
Yeah,
that's such like a classic, almost like cartoony counter of making him like Joseph Joestar style.
セリフは分かったからどうだってんだよこのクソガキがだ分かったからどうだってんだよこのクソガキ当たってまあ見ろかっこつけんじゃねえいや違うね一体どこ殴ってんだよおめえが楽しそうに殴ってたのは俺じゃないぜ
Punch the
yeah, that's a good call.
Yeah.
Just great counter. Just slaps the shit out of the post. It looks fucked up. And then immediately Matt Hardy runs over and starts doing almost Nigel McGuinness, Bryan Danielson style, but to the shoulder.
Yeah, it's impressive how much Matt is clearly watching the indies at this time. Because these ROH matches feel very self-aware of both himself and ROH.
Mm-hmm. He knows what he is. and he knows what people like to see in this environment. Then there's a leg drop, which is pretty cool. Roddy is doing a great job of looking like an underdog here. And then the Roman Reigns cravat gets locked in.
Yeah.
Yeah. Big Roman Reigns guy, that Matt Hardy. Then Matt Hardy does his Ric Flair impression and then does a shockingly good figure 4. A move I've never seen him do ever since.
But boy, did it look good.
It looked good. He pulled it off. Then Roddy is getting dangerously close to pinfalls, Sean Spears style. Paul Turner's here. Pretty cool. And then Matt Hardy does a Splash Mountain.
It looks awesome.
Famous Matt Hardy move, the Splash Mountain. Just tosses down Roderick Strong off of a building style. Very cool. And then Roderick does a backbreaker. Shocking from him.
Yeah.
There's a great little sell from Roddy. Then Matt does some great stooging off of Roddy's shine. But he reverses it into a full Nelson King. What? Kind of like a reverse Billy Goat's curse.
Yeah, I'm not exactly sure what to call it either.
They call it a leg full Nelson.
Okay.
Sure. Why not?
Cool.
I hear you, ROH. There's a big old kick from Matt Hardy. Then a big vertical suplex for Roddy. He's so strong. This dude is absurdly strong. They do not make dudes like him no more. But Matt Hardy gets a great sleeper transition out of it. Then a big back suplex to reverse the sleeper. Let's see. Matt does like the most evil version of his Matt Hardy taunt.
Yes.
Where he does this incredible grin.
He did an amazing, and we have to we associate most with his comedy work, but he's like a great facial actor.
He's got great faces.
He's also got a giant face and head.
He has a very big face and head. There's no doubt about that. He is what a guy. He's a crazy looking dude. And then Roddy is firing up, but then there's a tornado DDT in the corner from Matt Hardy.
It comes out of fucking nowhere.
He doesn't do that move.
It's one of my favorite moves of this match. There's another one that will come later. You probably know what I'm suggesting, but
I think I do.
It's so not Matt Hardy, and it looks so good. And that's what I was saying about he's clearly aware of what do the indie crowds want to see.
Yeah.
So starting while just doing his normal Matt Hardy stuff, and then pulling out a few things like that is amazing.
He understands what this crowd wants. He's a consummate worker. Then a kick out of that tornado DDT. I'm hyped. I'm going, let's fucking go, let's fucking go, let's fucking go. And then a Northern Lights counter from a butterfly, which is pretty beast from Roderick.
Oh yeah.
And then there's this really fucked up neck breaker that Roddy does.
Oh, you're forgetting, by the way, that Hardy hits a fucking Misawa rolling back elbow.
Oh yeah, he does.
Noted Kings Road specialist Matt Hardy.
Kings Road Matt Hardy. That's pretty cool.
It rules so much. But
yes,
I hear
it. I'm imagining Matt Hardy just by himself in a hotel room watching the 6'3", just leaning over it, just
on all the drugs.
Well, and all the drugs, doing the Matt Hardy smile, broken Matt Hardy smile, just nodding his head. Crazy visual. Then out of that neck breaker, Roddy does a sick kick and then a death by Roderick, which is really cool. Then a kick out, and then of course, famous user of the sunset flip, Matt Hardy, does a sunset flip.
Yeah, guys doing the sunset flip historically is not a great if you don't do the sunset flip, don't try it. Noted practitioners of that technique, Yoshihiro Takayama, breaking his neck. So I always get a little worried, but
Get well soon, buddy.
Yeah, Matt is fine here, thankfully.
He pulls it off well. It's weird how good he is at moves.
Yeah.
And then the stronghold gets cinched in for a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
It looks like Roddy, after Matt crawls himself over to the ropes, he's going for an end of heartache. But no. And then a butterfly guillotine from Matt Hardy.
This is what I was getting to, is noted shoot style specialist guillotine choke Matt Hardy.
It's strange.
It looks
strange,
awesome.
but he pulls it off. So I guess I can't.
Butterfly guillotine with the legs grapevine is not something I thought I'd be talking about from a Matt Hardy match.
Of course, famous. When I think of UWF, actually, when I think of Battle Arts, I think of the Hardys.
Jeff did have one match.
Wasn't he Willow? If I'm remembering correctly,
might have been.
He might have been. It doesn't matter though. Then a side effect, and then another side effect. Roddy, I think, rolls up Matt off of one of the side effects, and gets the 3, and just a genuinely good match.
Yeah, and also this match is 24 minutes. It
does
not. What did you say?
Just 21.
21. It does not feel like that.
No, it breezes by.
I would argue that this is the closest thing Matt Hardy had to a perk run. And
yes.
Oh my god, he's so good in this.
He is so. Oftentimes, when a dude leaves the WWE system, they sometimes have middling success. But dude, Matt Hardy is built for the indies too. It's crazy.
Yeah. It gives you the sense that it's like, oh no, he could be working the indies if he really wanted to.
And he would be good, and he would. There is an alternative timeline where Matt Hardy does not take the deal back to go to WWE, and he becomes like an indie god.
Yeah, I think he could. I mean, during this time, he doesn't quite fit in the ROH like world title picture. But if he was just going around the country, maybe eventually early TNA when it was good, something like that.
Sure.
Like Styles Joe era TNA, he might have been able to make a name for himself, especially since he had the character work there. But yeah, he could have been around, especially if I'd be curious to see if he had gone to Japan, what that would have looked like.
Yeah, that would have been weird. Him and Noah. Matt Hardy versus Masawa.
He'd probably do good though.
He would do good. It's just a weird visual. It's a really weird visual to see Matt Hardy going up against like Marufuji or fucking Kenta. Kenta versus Matt Hardy. Has that happened?
Likelihood says it has, but
something's telling me Matt Hardy is probably like the Hardy. Hang on, I have to look this up now.
Okay.
I apologize.
By the way, also during this run, we won't talk about it here, but there is a card in which Matt Hardy. This was a close one that didn't make it for this, but he has like a 25-minute match with AJ Styles, and it's pretty fucking good.
Matt Hardy, noted guy. What? That doesn't seem right.
But he can work. But what I think is amazing is that he can work like a 25-minute ROH match on the same card as like that match I said with AJ Styles. Like on that card is like the guys you would expect, like Chris Hero, Eddie Kingston, Claudio.
Okay, so wait, what? I'm sorry, I'm really looking for this Kenta match.
For Kenta versus Matt Hardy?
No, this hasn't happened. That's sad. It should have happened. Kenta doing the psycho knee. Anyways, what were you saying?
I was saying that he has a match with AJ Styles, like a 25-minute ROH style main event. It's not an ROH card.
Fuck?
But like it's on a card with like Chris Hero, Claudio, Eddie Kingston, all of the guys
he's like cursed.
But he just comes in and he just fits in with it because
of course.
Yeah.
Of course, because he's a beast. They do not make dudes like him no more.
I guess I would characterize this Matt Hardy as like just a wrestling chameleon.
Yeah, I would agree with that. But eventually, Mr. Matt Hardy manages to get his job back.
Yes, he
Thanks
does.
to the guy he's competing against, Edge.
It's Edge.
It's
Before that,
Edge!
however, I would like to
Oh.
talk about. We're gonna watch some promos from
Oh,
Group
okay.
Matt.
Okay.
The first one, I guess I'll probably play a snippet of it in here, but you could look it up. It is the title is Broken Brilliance Decay Returns Again. And so this is being amidst the war between the Broken Hardys and Decay, who has some good spooky dukes such as Crazy Steve with 2 Z's and the
My goat.
always underrated Abyss.
Oh, shout out Abyss. He's my favorite 2K wrestler.
We'll have to eventually do a episode on him.
Dude, I'd fucking love an Abyss episode. That'd be awesome. We could
But
talk about the Monsters Ball where he hasn't had any water and he's locked in a room.
In this period, at one point to prepare for Abyss, and for Crazy Steve,
Of course.
he decides to go battle the reincarnation of Smoking Joe Frazier.
Who was alive at the time, if I remember correctly?
Let's look up when Smoking
I think
Joe
he was alive.
Noted also reincarnations within the Broken Matt Hardy No, he had been dead for like 6 years.
Aw, damn.
But noted also there's a lion that's George Washington and a tiger that's Genghis Khan, I believe.
That's based.
But
Most thought of him as Wild Boar.
who is Smoking Joe Frazier?
Smoking Joe Frazier is aside from being a kangaroo now,
No,
is
I'm saying what form has he taken?
a kangaroo.
Yeah, and so I'm gonna give a epic commentary of this training match between Matt Hardy and the kangaroo. Is that they have a really nice tie up, and the kangaroo tries to grab a tie clinch. It's a very I'm sorry, this is with Jeff. It's a very wise strategy from the kangaroo, who actually get used to working a side headlock.
Okay.
Which is very important.
Uh-huh.
And so Matt taps in and he hits a good front kick up the middle. Smoking Joe, which I love. Matt sells it. The kangaroo like taps him in the leg and he sells it. And so it's evident that the kangaroo is working heel, and he tries to lock in the headlock as well on Jeff Hardy.
No, for sure.
Working the headlock, the kangaroo then does the Steiner taunt.
Just the bicep.
Yeah,
he's bringing up the hoochies to his place.
It does the Steiner bicep taunt.
Hell yeah!
It's evident that this is a working kangaroo.
What a goat! And this guy is a beast. They do not make dudes like Smoking Joe Frazier no more.
And after that, it's evident that they have to quit the sparring session, and they give the kangaroo his food. It's both amazing that some zoo let them do this.
Extraordinarily fucked up.
And also that this kangaroo both hit some spots and the Hardys sell for the kangaroo, which is hilarious.
And then the kangaroo looks to the ladies. It's just a bicep taunt.
Yeah, I don't know. I wonder how much they actually wrestled this, like how much raw footage there is that he only kept the best parts. But it's just hilarious that he hit that taunt.
Brother Nero, you must defeat him.
And I also appreciate that they're tagging back and forth to fight Smoking Joe Frazier.
Skull, do you think we could beat a kangaroo?
I could take out the average male kangaroo.
Okay.
They have no grappling.
Okay, so what you're saying is that I will come in first, I'll get my ass beat, then the hot tag will be you, and then you'll like suplex the kangaroo.
Yeah, it's because I weigh roughly the same as the heaviest male kangaroo, which means the average is lesser. And I don't think they can do well with a suplex. The best Smoking Joe does in this video is a tie clinch.
This jabroni has no grappling skills.
I think if I can clear the distance, I think that kangaroo's going to get wrecked.
I think this is a great plan.
Also, this kangaroo has been declawed so that it doesn't kill Jeff Hardy.
Expect episode 100 of the Bati-Bati book club of us destroying a kangaroo in a tag match.
Yeah. A handicap match.
Handicap tag match.
of us killing a poor defenseless animal.
Makes sense to me. I mean, come on now. I'm just a guy. I'm just a little guy. It's my birthday. I'm the birthday boy.
So as we go from here, we do now get to he has been rehired. This is only a month after our previous match.
Mm.
And who's it against?
It is again. It's Edge. It's Adam Copeland. It's Cope. He's here.
Edging.
Huh?
He's edging.
Ah, who taught you that word?
Is that what the kids are saying?
Yeah. Sadly.
Something about gooning? That's what the kids
Please,
are doing?
please, I need you to silence your cell phone. I need you to be quiet and watch the film, Bretta.
Look, I'm canonically a 4,000-year-old.
You're a grandpa. You are not as old as the oldest guest we've had so far, being Sam.
Yeah. Well,
Who is like before time. He's been around since the Dark Ages.
Mm-hmm.
Terrorizing the locals. Let me do my best Sam the VA mod impression. You must edit the video about Joseph Montesilio.
No, we are neighbors.
No, we are neighbors.
What high level comedy we have on this
I thought it was funny, Squill.
Yeah.
Listen, I'm trying real hard here.
Your audio is clipping like crazy right now.
I'm trying. I'm trying real hard. Some people listen. What is this fucking funny? Is this funny to you? Are you being serious? Are we gonna include this?
I think
If you
we'll.
include this, I swear to fucking God. Okay, we're just gonna start off again. Okay. Sorry, I got root. I'm sorry, I got worked up. I got
too fired up.
Wow.
You said before recording this that this would be the most deadlock episode of Bati-Bati Book Club, and you have proven yourself correct.
Listen, I try not to show it too hard. I'm okay. I think I'm good. I think I'm good. Okay, we're gonna.
All right.
Do you want to do a count or?
No, we're good.
Okay, we're live, pal.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Anyways, Edge versus Matt Hardy.
Yes.
They start off with Metalingus B style. That's pretty cool. Big fan of that. Woo! Honesty. Really good theme song. Absurdly good theme song. Right up there with I Walk Alone and Misawa's theme, I think.
Yes.
And then Matt Hardy is locked in. He's hitting crazy face taunts.
Yeah, he is just milking up the crowd here. Both men are.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're just powered up. They're going crazy.
And I've said this before, but it has to feel so cathartic to be Matt Hardy right now, because you still have a lot of unresolved issues with everyone involved with this.
Yes,
and so you get to just beat the shit out of him.
Not many people get the opportunity to not only be right, but also to beat up the people in front of national TV that have wronged you.
Yeah, it has to feel pretty good.
Incredibly unique situation and incredibly cool. They immediately lock up and they just start throwing off some sweet worked punches that all look good somehow.
Yeah, once again, great puncher Matt Hardy.
Yeah, and they move around the ring really well, bouncing from turnbuckle to turnbuckle. Very good job. Edge immediately attempting to escape from the corner is pretty funny.
Great heel work.
But Matt Hardy manages to throw him down and then does the Macho Man double axe handle off the top.
Awesome.
Incredibly cool move. And then Edge and Matt Hardy recreate the Roderick Strong headlock spot.
Beautiful.
And then Matt does a really good job of selling eye rakes, which you don't see enough.
I will say, by the way, I didn't, because we hit it a little bit earlier, but I'll just say for the brawling section, once again, the sense of momentum is what I love about is that they're not just holding and hitting, they are like pushing each other across the ring, like buckle to buckle, while they're brawling. Like it's
Yeah.
like a hockey fight.
It's incredibly good. Edge got to be my favorite hockey fighter.
But it's just so like I don't know. I know I hate using the term like real or something like that, but like it just feels very naturalistic. Of like this is a brawl you've seen in a parking lot.
Absolutely.
Because there's so much shoving.
There's so much shoving, so much falling down.
Yeah.
Falling down into the turnbuckles and stuff like that. Very good stuff.
It's I guess naturalistic is the way I would describe it.
That's a good way of putting it. I like that.
It's in a way that like a lot of my favorite brawls are.
Kind of in the vein of like Samojo versus Necro Butcher.
Yeah, not quite to the level of violence, but the
No.
same ideology, yeah.
Yes. Matt gets tossed into the ring, which is pretty cool. He goes forehead first.
Mm-hmm.
Then he tries to go for a top rope side effect. But that does not work out and slams the back of his head. Matt is absolutely swaying. Even though he looks like he's in a shitload of pain.
Oh yeah.
Commentary is horny. I don't like that. Not a big fan.
Yeah.
Edge does his best Shinjiro Otani impression by doing the face washes in the corner.
Very interesting.
Famous Shinjiro Otani mark Edge.
Maybe.
Big DDT in the middle. Very good.
Yeah, good DDTs by both guys.
Mm-hmm. And then a cage bomb, and then a buckle bomb. Just big. Wow, I'm blanking on his name. Cut this out. Seth Rollins, Mark.
Yes.
Our
favorite wrestler, Seth Rollins.
Oh yeah, he's my favorite member of the Shield. He has aura and Riz.
That's what the kids are saying, right?
That's what the kids are saying. Oh, I'm aging. Edge is doing a good job at being the worst. I know.
Oh yeah.
And then a power bomb off the top rope. There's so many power bombs in this match. It's crazy.
And they're all pretty good.
Yeah, they're all great. He does it kind of Kane style, where he lands on his knees. With the power bomb. Matt then for his babyface fire starts biting Edge.
Yep.
Which is very cool.
Loves.
They absolutely love it. And then he does a top buckle snake eyes reversal of a power bomb, I believe.
I will say, by the way, babyface biting might be an underrated technique because if you hit like the correct level of blood feud, people will cheer you for just cheating.
For doing anything.
Yeah.
I think there's a fine. I think you can cheat as a babyface, and people will think it's more badass, not badass, more justified or more cathartic.
Like how everything Adam Page has done to Swerve Strickland has been a cool babyface type thing.
I agree, and yeah, that's pretty true. Yeah, that's true. And then Lita tosses in the briefcase.
Not cool.
Not cool. That is not cool. That is cheating. I don't like cheating.
Lita is well versed in cheating.
Then Matt Hardy does a catapult.
Yep.
And then does the bulldog onto the briefcase.
He has a weirdly good bulldog.
He's good at the bulldog.
It's one of those moves that could look deeply lame if the wrong person does it.
Yes.
But it always looks like he is just trying to smash your face into the mat. Like it's a face buster.
He's definitely on the Dustin side of bulldogs.
Mm-hmm.
Edge is now gushing blood. And then Matt Hardy gets hit in the balls by the ref bump.
Not cool.
Not cool. And then a spear, a crazy spear into the cage.
A rare good Edge spear.
When it happens, it's pretty cool. And then there is a side effect off the top rope, which is pretty sweet. And then Lita stops the pinfall. And Matt Hardy gets up, picks up Lita, and then does a beast twist of fate onto Lita.
Speaking of deeply cathartic.
Yeah. And then a spear out of nowhere. But he kicks out. And then I think he hits like a twist of fate or some finisher. And then Matt Hardy climbs up the top of the cage. He's off the top of the cage. And then, by God, Edge just gets the leg drop onto the Edge. Just speaking of, JR does a very good job during this match.
Oh yeah.
He sells it very well. And then 3 count, great match. Very good job.
This is really a beautiful thing of people putting aside their differences, where clearly Edge was like, yes, you can take all the liberties you need to do. I'm gonna put you over, buddy.
It's great. Shout out Edge.
It's very interesting because this is sort of the first instance of like the quote unquote internet wrestling community like affecting something.
Yeah, that is interesting.
And they just wanted to see Edge die.
And it was good for business, Bretta.
Which is honestly because I think Edge is a better heel.
He is way better as a heel.
Oh yeah.
I think he's doing a pretty good job in his modern incarnation of playing a good guy. But yeah.
It is a note, by the way, that people didn't like it at the time. But Matt Hardy's return promo is that he said he wanted Edge to die in a car accident.
Oh my God.
That's pretty awesome by me.
Oh my God. all right. Hey, that's heat right there.
Whatever you need, buddy. Whatever you need.
Whatever you need. Well, that's all I got on that match. Very good cage match.
So we're gonna look once again and in the realm of Broken Matt. But we are going to look into when he was Woken Matt Hardy in WWE. Which is because he copyrighted Broken Matt, so WWE needed a version of it they owned.
That's funny.
And we have Jeff Hardy, Seth Rollins, and Finn Balor hanging out backstage when they meet Woken Matt Hardy with his new buddy, Bray Wyatt.
Oh, normal guy Bray Wyatt. R.I.P.
And so what I love about this is
are you gonna stream it?
You want me to stream it? Oh, have you not watched it yet?
No.
Okay, we're professionals.
I said I didn't watch it.
Okay, there we go. Let me get it up. I can, please. We are professional podcasters.
All right. I hope that's not copywritten.
You see it?
Yeah. This fucking guy. Good face. Matt Hardy talking to Jeff. The delete is a crazy taunt.
It is. Because in the wrong case, it looks like the Hitler salute.
It looks fucking crazy. It is a...
Bray!
Ah! This guy is normal. He's okay. Oh, Jesus.
Aww.
Aw, big hug. That's nice.
By the way, is Jeff Hardy wearing pansexual pride pantyhose?
Yes. Shout out, Jeff Hardy. Oh my. Jeff Hardy, you should probably be more worried about your brother's company. Oh, I hear you. Oh, my favorite member.
So I will play as much as that as I can on screen, but ostensibly, Jeff just code switches back to broken mode to humor his brother. And then they're just funny. And what's deeply beautiful to me about it is how supportive he is. He's like, yeah, my brother's weird.
My brother has... I'm not sure if I would be as okay with my brother being friends with a cult leader.
Well, this
But-
time it's after Bray got buried, so he's kind of on the downcline.
He's on the decline. He's not.
Yeah.
He doesn't have Big Red Rowan.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, I guess that's fine.
So he's just hanging out. He's just a harmless dork hanging out with another dork.
Oh, okay. I guess that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyhow.
So we're now going to full Broken Matt Hardy,
Oh no.
and we're going to the final deletion.
Deletion.
So this is the apex of like, well, maybe not the full apex of the story, in Impact, since they would go on to have the Great War with Decay. But ostensibly, they told it was a really good story of Matt Hardy played up the fact that he's delusional, and like weird on the internet publicly. And fans thought he was doing another like eating grapes, perk addiction, like sort of thing.
He was back on the juice.
And so he slowly like worked the fans into thinking he was delusional, but then turned it into a funny thing. And the point he's making, which is true, had been true and will continue to be true, is that Matt's career consistently gets fucked over by the fact that he's hitched his wagon to one of the most unreliable workers in the world in Jeff Hardy. So Jeff Hardy got injured on a dirt bike, which caused them to have to vacate the titles. So this is where we're at now.
I would be fucking tweaking out too. It is a miracle Matt Hardy is as good of a brother as he is to Jeff Hardy, because Jeff Hardy is fucking really good at messing up, respectfully, of course.
But I mean,
if Matt Hardy watches this, which it's more likely than you might think.
But clearly, these are some loving brothers, and they are going to this storyline.
We love Jeff. We love Matt.
Riffing in the best way possible. But he has challenged Jeff to a match on the Hardy compound.
Of course.
Several acres of land they actually live on.
Yeah. I kind of want to go over the pre-tape too, if you don't mind.
Yes. And so they will be sending an Impact ref to the Hardy compound for the cinematic match.
Is this the first cinematic match?
At least one of them.
You could argue that Inoki Saito at Deathmatch Island is a cinematic match.
Who's that? There's like the Gold Dust stuff, right?
Oh yeah. Yeah. Well, that's cinema in a different way. But we start off with the birthday of Maxwell.
King Maxwell.
King Maxwell, excuse me. And he's got El Generico balloons.
Yes.
Like there's one that just straight up looks like El Generico, which is pretty funny.
At this point, I'll note some other characters, namely Rebby Hardy, whose wife's Matt's wife, who's way too hot for him. So shout out Matt Hardy.
Shout out Matt. Shout out this loving family. And crazy.
Also Senior Benjamin.
Of course.
Who within kayfabe is their Mexican groundskeeper. And who actually is just Matt's father-in-law and Rebby's dad.
It's inspired.
Yeah.
Very inspired.
Yeah, and he is in canon addicted to murder, and just loves killing people.
That's a good way of putting it.
With such quotes from him as "I will build a wall and bury you under it."
Oh,
yeah.
All right, I hear you. Matt Hardy is talking about how he has given his son a gift on his birthday that he could not contain inside of the Hardy compound, and says that he will finally delete Brother Nero. And Remy Hardy is perfectly fine with this. In fact, she seems like this is a good action. It seems like Remy like cuts from like being a normal human being when talking to Senior Benjamin, and then just losing her goddamn mind whenever around Matt. I don't know what his power.
That everyone just matches whatever Matt wants to do, I guess.
It's
like, oh, he's weird. We love him.
We call that autistic Riz in the in the business.
But then there's an epic showdown, as even though it's still on the Hardy compound, Vanguard 1, who canonically has a drinking problem,
Alcoholic drone.
is Matt Hardy's drone, which interrupts Brother Nero, who is playing his guitar.
He was also doing he was designing his beautiful lawn using the riding mower beforehand, and then he goes inside,
the mower of lawns,
and then he starts playing the guitar, and then Vanguard 1 comes in and says, "Brother Nero," and then says something
he
along
displays
the
a
lines of,
holographic message.
"Great
And at this point,
editing."
I'll notice that Matt Hardy edits on the exact same software that I use, which is Sony Vegas.
That's so funny.
So shout out to him, the fact that he refused using like actual Impact TV editors and just decided to do it himself.
This after a certain point, Impact just became the Matt Hardy show.
Yeah, and that's good
which
because
is
they
very
weren't
funny.
doing anything else that was good.
Yeah, they were going out to Pop. You know about Pop? The station Pop?
I do not.
Yeah, that's how good Impact is.
Shout out Pop.
Shout out Pop. And then Matt Hardy says with some sick editing to Jeff, "The battlefield is set for final deletion."
You're getting good at it.
Thank you. Matt Hardy then evilly destroys Jeff's lawn as Jeff tries to dirt bike towards the arena.
Sort of a cool bait and switch to come back and like Trojan horse with Vanguard 1 to then destroy his world.
Using the mower of lawns or whatever.
The mower of lawns.
Yes. And then drive straight through the beautiful patterns. I don't know what... Okay. This is an aside. What is the deal with the Jeff Hardy designs? Is it just shit he thinks is cool?
I think so.
Okay.
Well, I don't think he's specifically on coke. To quote Rick James, cocaine is a hell of a drug. And I think that's just kind of the level we're operating on.
Yeah. Certainly comes off that way. Anyhow. Hell nah. Rockstar Spud appears.
And he is deleted.
He is then deleted. I skipped past him. I spit on people that are not Matt. Senior Benjamin constructs the Inoki Saito Deathmatch Island set.
Yes, he quote prepares the battlefield for massacre, which is something I have quoted many times.
It's very applicable in day-to-day life.
Yeah, if I had a nickel for every time I prepared the battlefield for massacre,
I would have 2 nickels, which isn't a lot, but you know the rest.
No, it's many of them.
There's many nickels. I hear you.
That's what my 401k is built on, is preparing the battlefield for massacre.
Ah, well, that makes sense for destrucity, if you will.
I don't know that word.
You don't use the destrucity?
Is that like a Dutch curse?
Yes.
Damn.
You are being deleted Dutch style. Anyhow, TNA ref pulls up in a car. Presumably, there's some cameraman aside from maybe Matt teleported. We don't know.
Maybe.
The TNA ref pulls up, and you can hear the beautiful tones of Matt Hardy playing the violin, which is.
This is accurate.
And then Matt Hardy asks if the TNA ref is an officiated ref.
Yes.
And then the ref goes, yeah. And then Matt goes, "You can, after the pinfall and after the submit, you're only here to count the pinfall, and I think he says like register the submission, and after that you will not register the." It's like halfway in between a like King Julian impression and a like Ludwig Kaiser.
Oh, okay, yeah, that too.
Yeah. It's I don't even know how you make that accent, Matt Hardy style, I guess.
Before the match gets properly underway, there is a James Storm jump scare as well.
Oh yeah, James Storm. Big fan of his JCW work he's now doing.
Yeah.
And
shout
then
to the juggalos in the audience.
Whoop, if you will. And then Jeff Hardy pulls up in the dirt bike, and then they start staring down, and then the Dark Souls bell noise plays.
It's pretty awesome.
And then it kicks off the match. So if you can't handle Futen, camera-wise, you will die during this match, I'm pretty sure.
I don't think the camera works that bad.
There's a lot of camera cuts at the start of this match.
Yes, it gets better over time.
Yeah, it's just the start for the most part. But there's some crazy-ass camera cuts, and then there's a bulldog, but it gets countered into the corner, and then a massive vertical suplex. And then Jeff Hardy, there's some intense video game music, I note, as Jeff Hardy pulls out a garden wall ? And then
Cool, Jeff.
There's a lot of finisher spam in this match.
It's really charming as a piece of literal backyard wrestling.
Oh, that's so true. I never thought about it that way. Massive twist of fate for Matt Hardy. But then there's a big kick out. And then there's a kendo shot to the back. Then some ladder shots with a ladder choke. Matt Hardy is doing the craziest faces ever during all of this. Matt Hardy shouts delete, which I was not around during delete spam era.
Delete.
So I found that quite funny. Jeff Hardy hits a twist of fate, and then Jeff Hardy hits a swanton, but oh my god, a kick out. So then Jeff Hardy sets up the ladder, and then does the twist of fate, which sends Matt onto the ladder. And then Jeff climbs up a tree.
Yep.
And then does a swanton off the tree.
It's also so part of the canon of this is that if you build something high, Jeff Hardy compulsively has to jump off.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
That's a great detail that I enjoy.
Incredibly good bit.
Mm-hmm.
Then Matt Hardy kicks out. That is the third time they have kicked out of each other's finishers.
Woo.
You
tell me this isn't a bastion of psychology.
Listen, Squill, we are here for real grabs.
Mm-hmm.
You understand me?
Yes.
The ring is sacred to me. I guess not to Imperium
compound
anymore.
is Teelig.
I am also a big ring comp guy, and also a big Mercedes Monet theme guy. Anyhow.
Boo.
Boo. Boo earns. Let's see here. Ladder is placed in the corner. And then a chair shot to the back. And then, how could we forget about the greatest part about this match? The firework-based combat.
Oh
where
my god, it's
he
beautiful.
pulls up the fireworks and then just starts shooting off Roman candles.
Yeah, this is one of the reasons why I deeply love this, is because this is the most like you and your brother are just fucking around in the backyard tier thing of this.
It's insane how many fireworks shots go off. It causes so much smoke to fill the arena. Jeff Hardy says, "What the fuck is wrong with you?" I'm pretty sure you can hear that.
Back when I lived in like a proper like white trash neighborhood, I'm pretty sure I've done this. Mm-hmm. So yeah,
we used to be a proper country.
Used to be.
Anyhow, Matt is holding up the hoe and then says, "Brother Nero, where are you?" And then Jeff Hardy leans over and lights one of the Roman candles, and he goes, "Oh shoot!" And then Brother Nero starts shooting off another Roman candle. He starts shooting it off at Matt, his own weapon. And then Jeff chases down Matt, and then Jeff Hardy gets baptized in the lake. Can you explain the lake
of reincarnation?
Can you explain the lake of reincarnation?
Whenever someone is submerged in the lake of reincarnation, you are in fact taken and forcibly either assume a previous or a new persona.
Mm-hmm. And he gets reincarnated as the legendary Willow.
Yes.
But thankfully, Senor Benjamin is there to tase Willow.
Thank you, Senor Benjamin.
Then they lead to a 3-count pinfall. But wait, Senor Benjamin was Willow?
Damn.
The pinfall didn't count.
That was a devious trickery by Brother Nero.
Brother Nero, I didn't even know that was a hot swap. That was crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Like the camera doesn't even like disappear off of him. That's how good
Hollywood-esque editing.
Jeff Hardy is just that much of a charismatic enigma.
Mm-hmm.
And then Jeff seems to be able to choke out Matt, and then climbs the Hardy brand symbol.
Which once again, if you build it, he is addicted to jumping.
It's keeping up the psychology. And then the candle from King Maxwell's birthday cake. They flash back to when he had said, "When this candle goes out, it will be when Brother Nero is extinguished."
Extinguished.
And then the candle is lit on fire, and then the Hardy symbol gets just blown up, and Jeff Hardy falls off onto a dirt pile, and that shit had to suck so hard. And then
he doesn't die in the fire, which is nice.
Yes. And then a 3-count, and Brother Nero has been deleted.
Damn. R.I.P. We never saw Jeff Hardy again.
No. It's so sad. Well, we never saw Brother Nero again.
No, we would. Because that's how. Oh,
yeah. That's
Brother
true.
Nero is like the slave version he becomes when he's a thrall of Matt Hardy's evil magic. I mean, good magic. He's good.
By his broken magic.
His broken magic. The genius of this is
the brilliance, if you will.
Yeah, the broken brilliance of this is that you can't not like mimic the stupid voice when you're doing it.
It's so infectious. It's just it's so charming.
Even when you don't want to do it, you're just gonna keep doing it.
I can't help myself now. It's quite good. Quite good. Good stuff.
As a closing note about the Lake of Reincarnation, that is in canon what created the Fiend.
The Fiend, yeah.
Because the Ultimate Deletion was the last televised match before Bray Wyatt would reemerge as the Fiend.
That's so funny.
He would go on to work a bunch of house shows after that, but he would not actually appear on TV again until like a year later. So that did actually create the Fiend.
Incredibly funny. Love it.
And by the way, unfortunately, I was test uploading this as you were speaking. I cannot actually use footage of any of those promos or the match in the podcast.
Oh, word, what?
Because they're owned by Impact and WWE.
Oh, dang it.
The best you will get is our Deadlock-esque recounting of the promos.
Yeah. Do you want to do a reversion of it so it's like more descriptive, or?
No, I think the marks are going to get what they're going to get.
Oh, yeah. Fuck those guys.
I'll provide links to the promos.
Okay, that's legit.
Have you watched the Aftermath yet?
No.
Okay, then we're going to do a little bit of it.
Yeah.
Final Deletion, the Aftermath.
Okay.
Sort of the end of Evangelion,
a coda, if you will.
A coda. A requiem.
A epilogue.
Okay. So we're getting a recap here. And now he's talking to the boat that shielded him from the demonic fire.
It's true.
So Matt Hardy has dubbed the dilapidated boat that shielded him from the fire of Brother Nero as Skarsgård. And that will be his name henceforth.
Incredible. He kind of looks like Bill Skarsgård.
I also love he clearly has like a stock music soundtrack that he's now playing as he goes around in Skarsgård to dump trash into the lake that he owns.
Just what a guy. Oh, Vanguard won. He's
Is
got the.
bringing him one of Jeff Hardy's shitty shirts to dump into the lake. And basically, where this ends up going at is the ending is him in some sort of meta way. It is him actually screening
For Lord
the
Maxwell.
final deletion for King Maxwell, which is kind of adorable because this is actually adorable for. I'm gonna stop here because that's basically it. But in real life, this is just the baby getting to watch his uncle and his dad do
Beat
stupid
each
shit
other
in their
up.
yard. Yeah.
It's cute.
Yeah.
I love all of the like cinematic matches directed by Matt Hardy. They're just adorable. It's
And
just people goofing.
He kind of gets better as a filmmaker as he goes on.
Yeah, you could kind of see that his directing got better. For like the camera zoom in and stuff like that.
Yeah, he's starting to figure out when to cut, when not to cut.
They flow very well.
Do you have any closing thoughts on Matt Hardy before we end this?
Matt Hardy might not be a bad wrestler.
I would argue that he is in fact quite good at this wrestling thing.
I might even recommend him beyond his tag work.
Yeah, I would recommend literally, like, even if you don't have time for like the ROH match or something, please just, if you haven't already,
check out that Chris Benoit match. Check out
go just look down a bunch. Go just look up a bunch of Broken Matt stuff. It's amazing.
It is peak. It is cinema.
Yeah,
if you will. And some would not.
Yeah, oh god, it's so good. He both is really funny in a genuine way, and he also understands that wrestling fans autistically love like callback jokes.
Yes.
And we will clap like seals if you provide us with callback jokes.
I know that. It's a big part of BTE humor is that, oh, I know that. I know what that means. Insider term.
I must buy t-shirt.
I must buy Indie Taker shirt now.
Yeah, I think he weaponized the autism of the marks against us, and I'm glad he did.
God bless him. And he seems like the most neurotypical guy ever, so it's a miracle he's so good.
He does seem weirdly normal.
He's shockingly normal. I don't know where he pulls his chaos from.
Well, according to him, the Broken Matt character came from both like his interactions with fans in the past with the grape incident, and also that he saw people try and fail to get over online in like weird bad ways. And then finally he had just been watching a bunch of shows about vampires, and he was like,
that's why he's wearing the corset?
Yeah, that's where this came from.
That's incredible.
But yes, we love Broken Matt. I love regular Matt. It's all quite good.
I also like cheeseburger. I like hot dog.